Welcome to Beating Cancer Daily. Beating stage 4 cancer for 30 years still takes my breath away every time I say it. I'm Saranne, founder of the Comedy Cures Foundation, and I hope you'll join me for just a few minutes daily for the next 365 days so we may laugh, learn, maybe cry a little as we live our best days beating cancer daily together. I'm really curious if you feel that you came from a dysfunctional family. You know, there's a classic joke. There are the people who came from a dysfunctional family, and there are people who deny they came from a dysfunctional family. I know so few people, and I know a lot of people that actually came from a super healthy, functional family. But I do help a lot of people who are very seriously ill, and there is a big connection between trauma and illness. So I have no idea where you are on the dysfunctional family spectrum, but I will tell you that I did not have a traditional upbringing. If you've listened to any of the episodes, I often mention that I was raised by a single dad. He was much older. I had a blind mother. They're both deceased. Rest their blessed souls. They did put me on this earth, but I'm really interested in this idea of looking back to our family life from growing up and with a therapist or with a social worker, looking at major traumas that could have happened. And I say this because I really excavated. When I found out that I had aggressive cancer, I wanted to reboot myself from the inside out. So I went deep. I really looked at all aspects of my upbringing, how that influenced my choices, how it influenced my behavior, and what I could have been repressing that was really traumatic or that I hadn't processed. Because in order to beat aggressive cancer, I felt that I really had to purge any sadness, depression, anger, fear, resentment that was residing within me. And I thought I was a healthy person mentally, but as I dug deeper, I found that there were unresolved things. So I'm really interested to know, have you looked at some of your behaviors and have you been able to trace them back to patterns that you were repeating from your childhood or dysfunction that you witnessed? Now, I'm not a psychologist and I'm not getting all heady here or deep because it's not my expertise. I can just tell you some of the things that I observed that I would love to call attention to because maybe you want to start working or looking at these things. So some of these things I've just read about, some of these things I actually experienced. Do you have trouble with boundaries? I had trouble with boundaries. I'm better at it now, but definitely had trouble with boundaries. How's your self-esteem? Do you think that you have low self-esteem, good self-esteem, high self-esteem? Are you having trouble maintaining employment or have you in the past? Do you have a healthy relationship? Have you had trouble dating? Do you trust the world? Do you trust yourself? Do you trust others? Where are you on your trust factor? Are you managing your emotions well? Do you feel uncomfortable expressing your emotions? Have you seen in your own family, if you've already had your own family, that the family that you created is dysfunctional? sometimes we just pass it down to our children. Are you using alcohol or drugs excessively? Are you experiencing panic attacks or extreme anxiety, depression? Have you been diagnosed with a psychiatric disorder? A lot of this can be passed down from coming from a dysfunctional family. Now, some of the things that can happen in a family are sibling rivalries. Somebody could have an addiction to gambling. There could be alcohol and drug addiction. Did somebody have an affair? Did you lose a parent very young? Did you witness some kind of abuse, or were you abused as a child? Did you have a family member with physical or mental illness? Was there a lot of conflict in your house? All of these things could really impact your health, your immune system, not just your mental health, but your physical health. And so I really love to shed light on things. This podcast is a story starter. Most of the episodes, if I don't have a guest expert, are very short because I just want you to look at an aspect of your cancer journey of your life. See if it's something that you want to go on and explore. There is emotional manipulation. There's emotional incest. There's physical incest. There's toxic parenting. There's high conflict that could be happening within your family, within your very own home. We have watched and experienced so much of this, not only with our own families, but also with other people's families. And so I just think it's worth looking at it. Now, I can tell you that I personally became a people pleaser because I just didn't want anyone to be in conflict. I became an expert at anticipating drama or complications because I just wanted peace, personal peace, and also peace without the home. There's this interesting concept in Judaism called Shalom Bayit, and it's a peaceful house. And I tried to raise my daughter, telling her that if you could have peace in the home, if she and I could totally trust each other, then we would be equipped to handle what goes on in the outside world, which isn't always so peaceful or always so honest or with integrity. You know, there are people that just don't have the best of intentions. I felt that if we could use our house as a place of safety and respite, then we would be supercharged to go out in the world and handle things that were more tumultuous because we could always come home, reboot, recharge, and rest. I found that the more I resolved the conflicts that I had or the pain or grief that I had from things from my childhood or that I had witnessed, that I had more energy for fighting cancer. So although it was a big commitment to really look deeply into my childhood and certain traumas, that I just experienced so much eventual relief after I did the work that I just had so much energy for not only running the Comedy Cures Foundation, but for helping other people and also fighting cancer. So looking at your own dysfunctional family can sometimes bring up a lot of pain. So I just want to reiterate that you may really want to do this with a trained therapist instead of doing it on your own, or do it with a family member that's super supportive that can help you work through some of this pain and grief if you do have that in the fabric of your family life. As you may know, I started the Comedy Cures Foundation, And one of the ways I love to use comedy is to take a pain point and look at it comedically, or look at it through the eyes or the lens of one of my favorite comedians. So if you just think of one or two of your comedians and how they talk about their dysfunctional family, and you take one of your pain points that might be similar to one of their pain points, and you closely pay attention to how they take that pain point and they convert it into something that we laugh about with them. Now, in the comedy world, a rule of thumb can be 80% of the joke is the truth and 20% is super exaggerated. Some people, it's 100% true. Some people, it's 20% true and 80% of it is fabricated. But I really love humor that's more in the 80% truth, and then they just use comic devices to really make us laugh and be surprised. But really listen to one of your favorite comedians, and when they start talking about their dysfunctional family, see if you like their comedy because you actually identify with some of their pain points. I'm really curious if you found that similarity and if that's why you like the comedian, because they really make you laugh, not only at their life, but at your own family too. So I can't wait to hear how you feel about looking back into your family life, not only your present family life, but your childhood family life, and trying to really process it so that you have as much strength for dealing with your cancer diagnosis and as much joy in your survivorship as possible. Now, you know that I have the episode on energy vampires and many episodes on really filling your life with joy. So I hope that you get to experience all the episodes of Beating Cancer Daily. Not only the ones where we talk about more serious things, but the ones where we're just goofy and we just have fun. And there's so many of those. And I hope that you integrate all these colors into your cancer journey. Go to the Comedy Cures Foundation and hit the record button and tell me what you're thinking, or go to the contact menu and write to me and let me know how this is going for you. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you tomorrow. It was so great connecting with you today. If you'd like to connect more, go to comedycures.org and check out the Beating Cancer Daily membership levels. It is so fun to meet up with all of you at our many different events. We have live virtual Q&A sessions with me. We have live Comedy Cures comedy events, live Health Builder workshops with Jackie Bryan, RN, and myself, a robust monthly newsletter, plus much more. So just go to comedycures.org and look for the membership level that feels right for you. And don't forget, you can also give one as a gift to your patient if you're a doctor, to a friend, to a family member. It really makes a very unique and personal gift. That's comedycures.org and sign up today. Thanks so much. See you tomorrow. Guess what time it is? It's time for me to read the disclaimer. Beating Cancer Daily and the membership circle are not in lieu of medical advice or treatment. They are for entertainment purposes only. Please consult your healthcare team to review your best strategy. Thanks for listening.